Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm Kimberly Jones and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. Here I have for you a more advanced version of using Be My Valentine. This card only requires the stamp set. The punch for the blurbs or bubbles, colored inks, and cardstock. It's pretty much a masking technique that I'm going to be going over. So bear with me. This is a slimline card. So it's a lot of fun and it's very easy as long as you get the masking down. Before we go over the card and how to put it together, I do want to announce a few things. One is that Stampin' Up! Has two catalogs right now. The annual catalog and then the mini catalog. And the mini catalog is a seasonal catalog. It's from January to April. And the Be My Valentine is on page 8, 9, and 10 of this book. But there's a lot of really cute things in here. The other thing I was going to point out is only for January, February, do they offer Celebration. And Celebration is under the catalogs as well on my website. But when you go into the Celebration, if you're new to Stampin' Up! And new to the concept, it's once a year. And you earn free products with the more you shop. If you purchase $50, then you earn a level 1. And if you spend $100, then you earn level 2. And so for every 50, you get a free product of your choice in this book. And it's really neat. There's a lot of really cool ideas and things in here. I will be doing some samples using the real elegant bird paper that's in here. I'm going to have a lot of tutorials using this Jungle Pals, which is amazing. It's 50. When you spend 50, you get the stamp set, but when you spend 100, you can get the dies. 150 will get you both. And it has a sloth and a lemur. There's just a lot of really neat stuff in here. So it only goes through the end of this month, and I just wanted to point that out. If you're interested in some things, now would be the time to purchase them. The other thing I was going to mention is if you are interested in becoming a demonstrator and just get the discount of 20% off and be a hobby demonstrator, then you can also, on top of getting $125 of free merchandise for only $99 of your choice, you can also get a glass mat, which is perfect and ideal because it wipes off, like inks will wipe off of this, glue will wipe off of this. It also comes with a silicone mat for you, a silicone mat and this rag to wipe off your mat, free and clear of glue, ink, and it also cleans off your stamps as well. It also comes with like a I don't have it handy here, but it does come with a little well that you can put inks and stuff in, and it sticks to this mat as you're working. So it's perfect. It's a $65 value for free just for signing up this month. And then on top of this, you also get $125 of product of your choice in all the catalogs, and you only pay $99. No shipping, no sales tax to that. So it is a great time to sign up, and you can take it serious and earn money, or you can just submit orders and save 20% off by being a demonstrator. So I just wanted to point all that out to you. And I'm going to be using my glass mat because when I'm masking off my paper on this card that we're about to do, I'm going to be stamping off to the edge, and so I'm going to be getting ink on this mat. So I do not want to get it on my table. Okay, so let's start with doing the bees. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the bee bodies on my paper here. Measurements and everything will be down below. But I believe that this is a 3-inch, or it may be a 3 1/4. Let me see. The other thing is you get a rulers, imperial and metric. So this is 3 1/4, and then this should be 6 3/4. Yes. Okay, so that is the measurements on your basic white. And again, you want to use a really nice white cardstock for this because when you stamp on it, it just shows a big difference. It absorbs the ink different but because it's a certain porous surface on the paper. I've used various white cardstocks and they do not stamp the same. So, okay, so let's get started. The inks that we're going to be using on this card is Sweet Sorbet, Flirty Flamingo, Lemon Lime Twist, Pool Party, and the Stays On Black for the stripes and the sayings. And then the flowers are going to be in those same color schemes. So let's just start at the top and work our way down. So let's do the Lemon Lime Twist. And let me get my bee. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this down so I can reach it better. Okay, and we're going to stamp it just kind of like off at the top, just like so. Okay, and then I'm going to wipe this in between each ink because it's going to be a different color every time. My son borrowed my ink pad. He likes to do things when I do things. And he got glitter in my Lemon Lime Twist. So if you see glitter on some of this project, then you'll know why. I may have to order a new ink pad for that reason. Okay, now this bee here is going off to the side. So you want half his body or a little bit of his body off of the page. Like so. Okay. These look like little thumbprints so far. Okay, and then the next is going to be the Sweet Sorbet. And then he just goes down here at the bottom. Like so. Okay, so now that we have the bee bodies done, then we're going to come back and go ahead and do our black. And if you're limited on your blocks, then you can always put a stamp on the front and a stamp on the back. If you have one that is like it's a 3D and has space on all sides, you can put little bitty faces on all of the different sides and save room, especially when you're using a lot of stamps at once. Okay, so now I'm getting my Stays On. Okay, making sure I don't have any black on my fingers because we are dealing with a white stamp. Okay, and I'm just going to move this over so I have good angles. So there's that one. Okay, I'm going to turn him around so I get a good angle on him as well. Okay, and see how I've gotten ink on my mat? See how that comes right off? It's pretty amazing. Okay, bring this back up and get the stinger lined up. If you get the stinger lined, then the stripes will follow. Okay, so now you have your bees stamped, okay? And we'll come back and do the faces here in a second. Okay, so the next step, this is where the masking comes in. Because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to stamp, and it doesn't matter what color you stamp it in, because it's just going to be a masking thing that you're doing. But let's just do it in Flirty Flamingo since that's my one that I have right here. And you're wanting to stamp on a Post-it note. Another thing is masking tape. If you have masking tape, you can do it on masking tape as well. But what I do is I like to go up all the way to where it's the sticky part, because you've got to have it stick to your projects. Okay, and then we're going to just do one at a time. Then you're going to take your scissors and just trim as close to that body as you can get, because if you don't, then you're going to have a gap in between your stamped images, okay? So you want to get close to the body. Okay, and it's okay to leave a little bit at the top because you want it to stick really, really well. And you want it to be, and in some, you know, in some processes you can like move over to that far side right there where you know that you're going to stamp a wing, and then move it over a little bit in case it's a little bit shy of the shape. That's fine, as long as you're not stamping over the body. Okay, so now the wings are going to be Pool Party, and this is the heart shape that I was talking about earlier. We're going to stamp this heart in Pool Party, and then we're going to come back over with the outline in black, okay? So we're going to stamp the wing. Okay, and you're just going to bring it over and stamp it where you want your wing to be. Okay, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to bring it to the edge and do another one. Okay. Take it off and then come back down here to this other body. Now, I'm seeing, by looking at my original and doing this one, I'm seeing that this is a little bit lighter, and I might have done a stamp off on that one. We're going to see over time because this may lighten a little bit over time. The other thing, well, we can do it on this next one and see. Okay, so I'm going to stamp off a little bit and then stamp on. That's what I did. I did a stamp off, and then stamp another wing. See, now that one didn't stamp very well, so let's try it again. Let me turn this over a little bit. Okay, and then you peel it up. Okay, and then you come down here and you're going to do this other one. Peel it up and then do the same thing. Okay, so now you have your wings stamped. Now you're going to go back over and do your black. And I'm going to keep it at this strength or this concentration because then you can see if you like the light wings better than the dark ones or vice versa. So let's just keep it at the darkness. Okay, and then we're going to come back and do the black wings, and you're going to use that same piece because again, you don't want to stamp a black point over your body. Okay, so you're going to ink your wings, your outline, and just place it over. And see how cute that turns out. Okay, and you're going to do the same with the other side. And it's okay if it's not perfect because it just adds that much more character for it to be kind of, it looks like a crayon drawn on or something, you know, when it's not perfect. So, okay, being careful because you're dealing with white and you're dealing with permanent inks and black inks and everything else. It's highly important that you're careful not getting ink on your card base, okay? So as you can see, I'm kind of like moving my stuff around and being very cautious about what I'm doing to keep it from, see, like I've got that black spot right there on my mat. I make sure that I get it up before I make a mess. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here and do this one. Kind of move it over to the side a little bit more. Turn it a little bit so I have a little bit more control. Okay, and there you have your bees. Okay. All right, and now it's time to do the faces. Now, because there's 3 different bees, I thought it'd be more fun to do 3 different faces. And so I did the Winky Wink guy up at the top. So he gets this one. And I did the smiley face on the little girl. And I did the little blinking one on the red. Okay. All right. And now we're just going to collage this with flowers and hearts. So what I've got is let's see. Let me move my stamps off and move them to a different block. I like this long skinny one for when I'm doing stuff like this. So, okay, so let's do, and we're going to use, I'm sorry, not Parakeet Party. We're using Lemon Lime Twist on these green, on the sprigs. So you're going to mount the flower stem, and you're just going to come in and off the page, stamp flowers. And every time you go to do this, it may be different, and that's fine. Okay, so I did 4 flowers. And then you're going to come back in and you're going to do your different color flowers. And I did Flirty Flamingo and the Sweet Sorbet. I did 2 of each one. And it's easy to go back and redo or copy, because then you already planned out your color scheme. Because with this blurb being Flirty Flamingo, I went ahead and, I didn't want Flirty Flamingo flowers next to the Flirty Flamingo. I wanted everything to stand out, if that makes sense. Okay, so then we're going to go into Sweet Sorbet. And I always clean my stamps in between colors so you don't muddy your inks. Some people don't, if you go from light to dark colors, but I do, just to be safe. Okay, so there's the flowers. Okay, all right, so next is going to be doing the little Pool Party hearts. And those are really little, and we can actually do those on this little small block. I took a face off. Actually, let's just take both of those off. Okay, so we're going to go in and we're just going to stamp little hearts. And I think that one's perfect because, like I said, we're going to have the blurbs on here too. I mean, if you want, you can go in and do some hearts, different spots, like up here. And right here. And because you're going to have blurbs everywhere, it's going to cover up some of this. So, okay, so there's that. There's our stamping, okay, as far as the background goes. So we'll set that aside as we bring in the cardstocks. Now, because this is a bee body, or it's meant to be a bee body, it can also be a speech bubble. So, and that's how I did this on this particular card. So I took a scrap piece of Flirty Flamingo, Sweet Sorbet, and the Lemon Lime Twist. And all I did is I went in here. Now, to be safe, what you can do is go ahead and stamp your words, and that way you can center your words as you punch them out. So you're just going to take your stays on. And let's just use this block. We'll stamp Be Mine. Okay, then we'll stamp on the Flirty Flamingo, You Make My Heart Buzz. And then on the Sweet Sorbet, whoops, not that one, we'll stamp the Love You. Let's try that again. I don't like how it, there we go. That one looks better. Okay, and you can always, if you get words that don't stamp too well, you can always use a marker and like your Stampin' Right journal pen and go in and correct it like this. I will show you. See, like my E and my, yep, and my O is a little not 100% readable. And so I just went in and touched it up, and now you can't even tell a difference. Okay, so let me go ahead and punch out these blurbs real quick. Okay, so, all right, I've got them going in different directions, but that's okay. Okay, so Love You is this way. Let's do the Be Mine. Okay, so Be Mine is up there. The Love You I've got going in this direction for some reason. You know how you can change that though, is you can actually, yeah, because you've got to make sure that you have your bubbles going in the right direction. So sometimes this is easier if you just punch out your bubbles, get them going in the direction that you want them in, and then stamp your words. And that we'll do that now because that's what I did before. And it's been a while since I've done this card. So let me just show you how I did it to be easy. It's easy just to go ahead and punch out your blurbs or speech bubbles, because you can turn them front or back to stamp however you want it to go. So with this one, let's do the Love You in the right direction. Okay, and then let's do the You Make My Heart Buzz in the right direction as well. Okay, so now we have them going in the right direction. Okay, so now it's just time to put everything together. And we pop dotted, or we're going to pop dot all of these speech bubbles, because that's kind of the fun part of this card. So we are going to pop dot each and every one of these. And if you're concerned about making a mess on your card and flipping it over and doing it on the back side, if you're worried about that person who's getting it is going to see the back side of those bubbles, you can always punch another one out and glue it on the back side. And then that way you won't ever have to worry about that being an issue. Okay, so now all it is doing our fold. This is 7 by 7, and you score it at 3.5 to give you your halfway mark. Fold it corner to corner. Get your bone folder and do your fold. Bring in your card And I use a really strong adhesive on this just because I don't want it to come apart. Okay, and then you just come in and center it onto your card front. And there you have it. I hope you will give this a fun try because it is, I mean, I love this card. It happens to probably be one of my favorites that I created. So if you have questions, reach out to me. You can get all these products on my Stampin' Up website linked down below. You can also view all the catalogs and look at the celebration items and purchase right directly from my website. Have a good day, and I hope to see you in the upcoming videos. Bye-bye.